Hey, what's going on, Vail? This is Dom Panetta. I am here in the village. It is the last day of 2022. I am pretty excited to get the new year started. It seems like it's been progressively getting better since 2020. So, yeah, what's 2023 got for all of us in store? We got pond hockey tournaments to talk about. We got New Year's Eve bashes to talk about. We got plenty of stuff going on in the village this weekend, and a lot of skiing, a lot of snow. Powder day again. What do you expect? Vail Valley Live starts right now.
Good morning, everyone. Billy Doran here for Vail Valley Live at the Grand Hyatt in our studios here, and you just saw the wonderful Dom Panetta. He is out there in the elements. We'll be taking it back to him in just a little bit. So settle back in. Driving in this morning, it is, pardon me, look kind of slick roads today. It is snowing, as you saw when Dom was talking there. The snow's coming down, so why don't you join us for the next hour or so? Pour yourself another hot drink there and kick back, and we'll tell you all the happenings, as Don was mentioning. There's all kinds of things happening for New Year's Eve. We'll be going over that, some of the elements that'll get you to get you to have a nice, safe, and fun New Year's Eve. And I want to touch on something also, which is really cool. I was out last night. I was at this terrific restaurant, Mountain Fish House and Oyster Bar in Edwards, and we've been kind of waiting for the crowds to get here. We had the delays from that massive storm that swept across the entire country. We had delays, the flight delays, all those cancellations due to that storm. We had the schools, the school calendar, kind of the way that was offset, kind of pushed the crowds back. And we've been kind of waiting here in the valley for the crowds to really get here. They're here. And I got to say, last night I was at the Mountain Fish House and Oyster Bar in Edwards, and it was just really cool sitting at the bar watching all these people from all different walks of life. At one point, there's two couples next to us, next to me, that sat down. They didn't know each other. They came in a few minutes different from different times, and it turned out that one couple was Australian by way of New Zealand. The other couple was from Florida, but by way of New York and New Jersey. And I kind of overheard them talking at one point. It was really funny because the Australian guy turns to the guy from New York. He's like, "Yeah, from New York, there, mate, right?" And the guy kind of turns and goes, "Hey, what is it? The accent?" And I'm thinking the two accents together were pretty comical. But that's one of the things I really love about living in this valley as long as I have, is we do get people from all over the world, and it's just neat to see them all kind of sitting. The bar was also full of private pilots from the private jets that come in. We had a bunch of locals there, families, and you could tell everyone was just getting in that frame of mind for a fun holiday coming up and a great season of skiing. And I mean, our conditions right now are terrific. And as I mentioned coming in today, the roads are slick, so don't be in any hurry to go anywhere. And as always, if you do need to go to Denver, to the airport, or even to Eagle, always give yourself plenty of time. The plows are out there and about. Don't ever try and pass a plow, too. They're there for a reason. But it's going to be a terrific day. Should we take a look at the weather right now, Leah? See what's going on outside? As Dom was showing, it was snowing just a few moments ago, and it's snowing outside the studios here at the Grand Hyatt. Temperatures are perfect to get those nice accumulations. It's not too cold. It's not too warm. Last couple days we saw some, just above freezing temperatures that created a lot of that slush. But right now we're going to have a nice powder storm coming out of this one. 23 in Beaver Creek, 22 over here in Vail. Those temperatures will kind of steadily increase, but not much. Probably not even reaching 30 today. So that's terrific for getting a nice dose of that good powder snow coming in. Evening temperatures a little chilly, going down into the single digits. So definitely keep that in mind. One good thing to do if you're parking your rental car or your own vehicle is pull those wiper blades up off the windshield. We get some of that spray and slush towards the latter part of the day, and that'll keep everything from freezing up, and it'll definitely keep your wipers in better condition. And you get those chips on them, and you wonder why. How come it's not wiping my glass clear perfectly? There are these streaks. That's because you got chips on your wiper blades from trying to get it across ice and stuff. But temperatures looking good. Snowfall, we haven't seen a lot in the last couple days, a little dusting, but we're going to see something in the next few days. This storm, I believe this is Winter Storm Hudson, is bringing all this, and it's definitely going to be causing some issues from East Coast to West Coast. But we're hoping another foot of snow, thereabouts, maybe even more, in the next 5 days or so, next 5 days or so. After that, you might see a little tapering off of snow, but we're hoping that this will really kind of hammer us. We're actually kind of under a winter storm warning or watch till Monday, so this is going to hang around for the next few days as this winter storm Hudson makes its way through. Of course, pulling all that moisture off the northwest and bringing it our direction. If you're traveling to New England or to southeast in the next few days, definitely check your travel plans because that could be causing some issues with storms and wind and things like that in the next few days as this storm comes across. There's a look at the weather ahead right there. Tomorrow temperatures look like they're going to pop right back up into the 40s. I kind of hope that doesn't happen. If we're still under a winter storm warning, I want that snow to be nice and fluffy, not that cement, that concrete snow that falls. And then temperatures go down a little bit the next few days, then pop back up Thursday and Friday into the weekend. But there's a few days, if you look at there around Wednesday and Thursday, those evening temperatures are going to drop below zero. So if you have pets outside and anything you need to be doing outside around that time, keep that in mind that those temperatures will start to drop over those days. I also want to mention when you're out driving, keep a good eye on your wiper fluid. You'll always hear me mention that because that's one of the things we quickly forget about. We often think wiper fluid. We wait till the light comes on. Well, if you're driving between here and Summit County or here and even Denver, there's going to be long stretches of I-70 where you can't really stop. There's no place to stop and get anything. So you don't want to be running out of that wiper fluid when you get stuck behind a semi or a big SUV and that spray comes up off of the road. You want to make sure you keep those that windshield nice and clear. And also a reminder, as we get more snow here in the high country, you tend to see animals come down. So you may have a better chance of seeing herds of elk hanging around, walking around. You may see deer, moose even around. Our moose populations have really exploded here in the valley in the last few years for sure. Should we take it out to Dom, Leah, and see what he's got going out? Dom Panetta is out there. We got Leah Miller in the director's chair, and of course myself, Billy Dorn, here at the Grand Hyatt Studios in Vail. There's Dom, our man, Mr. Panetta, with the snow falling. How's it going out there?
Yeah, I'm getting accumulation on my jacket. You can see, it's coming down. I mean, I got another day of shoveling ahead of me after this. It looks like, you can't tell under this jacket, but my shoulders are getting so big. I feel like I've been shoveling every single day.
You look huge.
Yeah, that's what my girlfriend tells me too. But
you wouldn't guess it, but really Dom's jacket is actually paper thin. He is that big, yeah. And that's just from the last few days. He's huge.
Yeah,
giant.
Exactly.
Hey, we were talking before the show started, right? You stopped in here to get your equipment to go out in the field. Tell us what you got going on for New Year's Eve. You have a great little plan happening for today and tomorrow. What are you going to be doing?
Yeah. So, like Billy was saying, one of the good things about living out here in the mountains is you have a close friend group. You get invited to a lot of things. You also have a lot of people coming up to visit.
Yes.
Like you said, a lot of time they're out of the country, but sometimes it's your own friends, from different states. So every weekend, it seems like, Billy, I'm always hosting somebody, which I love. Don't get me wrong. I love it. So one of the big reasons I moved up here. But for me, what my New Year's plans are, I'm heading over to Winter Park in the Tabernash area, a little bit of an old school community over there. And I am going there for just a New Year's bash, a house party, I guess you could call it. One of my friends is leaving for Australia. Speaking of accents, the best accents in the world. And then the next day, I'm coming back here to Vail, and I'm going up Vail Pass, and I'm going to be doing some snowmobiling and backcountry skiing.
What a
really excited for that.
What a fun New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So wait, you have a buddy that's moving to Australia or traveling in Australia for a while. So this is going to be a combination going away party / New Year's Eve bash / skiing in Winter Park, and then tomorrow snowmobiling. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to call you first thing in the morning to see how you're doing.
I'm gonna need that call.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be going right to voicemail real quick. Well, that's terrific. I mean, the snow conditions are going to be amazing for snowmobiling. That's going to be an incredible day out there, especially with all the snow falling right now. Look at it. It's just pounding on you right there. It's dumping on you.
It's like I'm like in my own snow globe out here. I love it. Days like these are magical. Like, when you can't see the mountain behind me, like that's crazy. Like,
yeah.
On a normal day, you would see this huge mountain behind me, but instead you just see the white background as of right now. So
I love it.
To me, I think it makes me feel like I'm in my own little personal space. One person in my personal space over there, about 200 yards away, but I'll let them be there for now.
All right, well, that's very
Oh,
kind
now
of you. So we got Dom in his own snow globe, trash trucks and all. The trash truck goes behind you there.
That trash truck out of here.
This is a reality snow globe. There are trash trucks,
Yeah.
so it's Dom's reality snow globe. That should be a TV show, a little segment. Dom's reality snow globe. What's happening today?
I love it.
Well, we definitely have a whole list of things we're going to be going through. I think we're going to take it to a break real quick, Leah. So we'll take it to a quick break, and we're going to come back. We got a whole bunch of stuff, New Year's Eve happenings. We got Vail Daily headlines, and, of course, we got Dom out in the field. We'll be checking with him as well with that snow falling. So stick around, top off your coffee, top off that tea. We're just getting started here on Vail Valley Live. Stay with us.
Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery stands for providing the highest quality care to our unique patient population here in the mountains.
I think that what makes us unique is that we really are practicing groundbreaking techniques, yet, we practice it in a small town environment. Our patients are our neighbors, and our kids go to school with their kids.
I think every one of our docs treat their patients like their family. Our goal is to keep you active, doing the things you want to do, and we'll map out a road to success to get you there.
Hi, I'm Carrie. Welcome to Knapp Harvest and the beautiful bounty of Knapp Harvest. We have here a lot of local produce, organic, from our hardworking farmers up and down the valley. So look at all the different apples. We work with all sorts of different apples. If you haven't ever done an apple tasting, it's a great idea. Please come here for the freshest produce possible. We have recipe ideas. We have fresh Knapp Ranch mushrooms to put in your stuffing or whatever you'd like to create. Come see us. You can get everything from your fresh flowers on the table all the way to desserts. So Knapp Harvest is located in Eagle Ranch on Sylvan Lake Road, right next to Color Coffee. We're open 7 days a week. Come see us for all your gift and stocking stuffer needs. We have lots and lots of gifts as well.
Hey everyone, I'm Trisha Swenson with Vail Valley Live, and we want you to watch and win. It's our way of rewarding you for watching our show, and we got some fun prizes throughout the whole season. Whether it's maybe some gloves from Handout, mittens for the kids and the adults from OR, these are even heated mittens. We've got items from Smartwool, like this base layer, quarter zip. We've got socks, we got some fun hats, all sorts of vessels to carry your drinks, and even some boost oxygen to keep you going up at this altitude. We're going to round it out with some t-shirts as well, so make sure you tune in to Vail Valley Live throughout the season, either on YouTube, Facebook, or locally on Comcast Xfinity Outside Television, Channel 17.
That's right. You can watch us live every morning outside television, Channel 17, 7:30 to 8:30. Also, you can find us on YouTube and you can like us on Facebook. And just as Trisha was talking about, we have a giveaway for tomorrow's show, so make sure you tune in tomorrow at 7:30. We're not sure what time we'll give it away. We're going to kind of keep you on the edge of your seat. But we got a nice little giveaway. We got some T-shirts, nice water bottle, some fantastic Smartwool socks. If you're not familiar with the brand Smartwool, by the way, look into it. Their stuff is incredible and works really well. Keeps the moisture away from your skin and keeps you warm. We'll be doing that giveaway tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned on that. There's the watch and win right there. We are here at our studios at the Grand Hyatt in Vail, and just a reminder, if you haven't been over here to the Grand Hyatt, you got to come check it out. The property is gorgeous, and probably one of the most unused chairlifts around is Chair 20, the Cascade chairlift, which is literally just a stone's throw from our studios here. There's some footage coming up off Chair 20 right there, and that's probably way more snow up there now than when that was shot, which is terrific. But it's a beautiful, beautiful scenery. You can see it just looks out over all of West Vail. There's the chair. And as I mentioned, in all the years I lived here, this chair is very underused. So if you want to try to get a jump on lines or crowds at any given time, come on over here to the Grand Hyatt, and you can start your day here. And of course, when you get done, they got the beautiful fireside lounge. It looks over Gore Creek. Terrific restaurants. They got great snack bars, all kinds of cool stuff happening right over here at the Grand Hyatt in Vail. Right now, we're going to take a look at the headlines for the Vail Daily. Now, remember, you can grab these papers all throughout the entire Eagle County area. There are kiosks all over the place. Great source of information. If you're new to the area, first of all, welcome. Glad you could be here with us. But all kinds of specials, restaurants, movie times, you name it, shows coming up, whether it's the Villar Center or Dobson Ice Arena, you name it, it's all going to be here. Big events going on. But taking a look at the paper today, right on the cover right there, the River Ridge Ski Down. If you ever get a chance to see any events happening on the mountain in the evening, especially fireworks displays, this is something to check out. They're doing their ski down there, right there on, as you can see them way on, kind of on the right there. They're all holding glow sticks and going down that way. River Ridge, of course, is an incredible history right there. That's named after one of the major battles of the 10th Mountain Division in World War II that kind of gave the Allies an upper hand. That was back in 1945. And of course, many of the founders of Vail were all 10th Mountain Division World War II soldiers. So they came in and they named River Ridge after that. And look at the headlines right there. Less overflow so far. That story's on page A3. If you notice, during the ski season, there it is. The cars start piling up along Frontage Road. It's just everyone wants to be up here. Those structures, they get full really quickly. But right now, Vail is currently meeting its goal of reducing Frontage Road parking in town this season. But January and February will be better indicators because that is a time when the weather gets a lot nicer. People are not afraid to walk as far as they need to walk to get on those runs. So that's on story on A3. Looking over at page A2, local and regional, the year in photos. We got the very talented Chris Dillman. He's been kind of documenting this whole year. He's of course one of the top photographers over there at the Vail Daily, and that story kind of just shows you throughout the year things that have happenings, goings on here and around the Vail. And what better way to document things and really see how things go than photography? Also looking at over on page A4, Tipsy Taxi Shuttle. Say that 5 times fast. If you plan on going out and really imbibing tonight, and of course, that's what we do on New Year's Eve. There's all kinds of options right there. You can see those stops right there. If you're going to be and this is all in and around Avon, keep in mind. This is not in Vail. It's not in Beaver Creek. This is in Avon. And there'll be stops at Westgate Plaza, Avon Station, Christie Sports, Christie Lodge, the Sheraton/Comfort Inn, Elk Lot, Western Riverfront. So keep that in mind. That is right there. You can get to avon.org, avon.org for more information there on the Tipsy Taxi service. Of course, a terrific service on a night like tonight. Over there on page 825, Sports and Outdoors, brothers compete on the free ride world tour. Jack and Kevin Nichols. Now, a lot of us watch this free ride and this extreme kind of skiing from the outside looking in. We see it running at bars and restaurants throughout the entire valley. You see those TVs. If you want to get an idea of what these guys and girls are thinking, what their lives are like, this is a pretty good article. You want to check that out. That's, of course, on 825, Sports and Outdoors. And on B1, Arts and Entertainment. And what is New Year's Eve without the libations? Oh yeah. This is all kinds of cocktails, different places that are serving cocktails, some really fancy cocktails, flaming cocktails, you name it. It's going to be an evening of cocktails tonight for sure. That's on B1. And you want to check that out. The Vail Daily, of course, available all throughout the Eagle County area on all the kiosks. And they also have a Best of the Best magazine you can pick up on stands right now, which will show you literally have been voted by the locals for the locals, the best restaurants, best fly fishing guides, yoga instructors, museums, dinosaur museums, and all kinds of great stuff. The Best of the Best, that can be picked up right there, probably right next to the Vail Daily paper. Taking a look at the roads, as I mentioned earlier in the opening of the show, I drove in as well as Leah drove in from Eagle. She had a little bit of more of a hairy drive than I did. Took her a little bit longer because roads are fairly slick. There's a look at the cameras. Yeah, it's kind of slow going there at Eisenhower Tunnel. East Vail up in the upper left corner. That's what you're going to see a lot of is that packed snow, ice. You may see a few spots where it's kind of free of ice and snow, but it's going to be wet and it's not good driving right now. Not at all. If you don't have to go anywhere, just sit back and wait for the plows to get out there and do their job. There's a look at the driving coming. Is that that coming in this morning? That's you coming in this morning on your dash cam right there. Yeah, you can see it is slow going. People got their blinkers on. It's kind of a white knuckle thing right there. Definitely don't push it. If you're not used to these kind of conditions, you don't ever want to feel like you have to get rushed ever. But there's the cameras. Those are all available on CDOT, Colorado Department of Transportation, CDOT.org. And you can, cotrip.org. You can check out the cameras later today if you have any traveling to do. You can see the conditions. They'll show you if they've been plowed, if they're clearing off, all that. But also keep in mind, as I mentioned, I like to mention because we're in the Rockies, we got lots of animals right here. I'm just got an update. East Vail, where is it at front? Vail Pass is closed eastbound, so probably a wreck happening up there. And cotrip.org, you can check out. They'll show you all of the things happening. So eastbound I-70 at Eisenhower Tunnel closed right now, so that'll probably open. They're really quick at getting that stuff cleared off. But again, animals hanging around, you want to be careful of those elk and deer and moose. When we get a lot of snow like we're getting right now, they tend to want to come down because just like us, they want to be in where it's easier to move around. And so keep an eye out them moving around the valley. Should we take it back out to Dom and see what he's got going on out there? Dom is out in the field. Dom, where in the world is Dom right now? Oh, nice sculpture. Tell us what you got behind you right there.
Yeah. So I thought it'd be good to get in front of this and show everybody what it is. This is our 10th Mountain Ranger. It's a like you said, the Vail was founded by these guys, and Camp Hale over the mountain about, I don't know, how's it, 20 minutes away?
Yeah, by the way the crow flies, it's just over the hill.
Yeah, that's where their base was. And, Billy, I'm a history buff, and I'm still trying to learn all the history that went into these mountains as far back as the dinosaurs.
Hey, wink, wink, my man. Yeah.
But I love history, and I think it's really cool that, we have this awesome military history in the mountains. Like, it's crazy to me that these guys used to go to the Dolomites in Italy and have shootouts in the snow while avalanches are going on, and they're skiing down. And like, to me, that sounds pretty cool. I'm sure it wasn't
absolutely. I mean, Hollywood couldn't write a script as good as what these guys went through, and it was the real deal. And it's kind of a shame, I got to say, at times, we kind of forget about all that stuff, and until you see an event or a sculpture like that, or see a movie like Saving Private Ryan or something like that, that you forget that this was real men and women that were put in these circumstances that often they had no way out, and it was a one-way trip. And these guys that you just mentioned, the 10th Mountain Division crew, that's how they dressed. They dressed and they fought in these conditions that we go out and have fun and ski in. But as you mentioned, Camp Hale, Dom, is a beautiful place. If you ever, our guests watching us right now, if you get a chance to drive out to Camp Hale, there's all kinds of informative historical signage, photos. That used to be a little town of, I think it was somewhere 15 to 20,000 soldiers, got men and women training for World War II, training for 10th Mountain Division events and fighting. And right now, all that's left of all that is you can see the grid system of the roads, and you can see some concrete foundations of what used to be there. But some of those photos are amazing because you're seeing all these buildings and thousands of people, and it was a full-on working town for a long, long time. So you're right. It's kind of like the whispers of the ghosts of things that have happened throughout this, even in just this area.
Yeah, and like you said, Camp Hale, it's a great spot. They have Nova Guides is out there, and you can do a lot of snowmobiling. Really flat area. And in the summertime, Billy, I actually go out there and I do some bike races with Vail Rec District. They have a good race there. It allows a lot of people to park and cheer you on as you're coming through that straightaway at the end.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool area. You go camp over there. Plenty of stuff. It's just kind of a big recreation area. And I know our president was just here, and he made it a national landmark. So
he did. We were officially a national landmark.
Forever.
Yeah, which is great because maybe it'll get more of the attention that it really deserves, because it's definitely one of those places that even people that have lived here for a long, long time might have not really looked at it. But once you pull over and you look at those signs and those photos, you start to see things in a little bit different light. And just like you mentioned just a moment ago, Dom, the history we have just sitting right around Eagle County, and not to mention the founders of Vail and their experiences is just amazing. That sculpture is right there in Vail Village, right before you cross the covered bridge. It's right there. You can see it's a very large sculpture. Either that or that's a very small man. No, it is a large sculpture. And actually, a friend of mine has one of the original coats He was actually wearing it for, I think it was a 4th of July parade thing, and he has one of the original coats, and it's in such good shape that someone walked up, I think it was one of the veterans from a different war, so he goes, that's a nice replica. It was so perfect, but he said it was amazing to be wearing this coat that was worn by an actual soldier out in the field, which is incredible to think about. Yeah.
That is really cool. And
Yeah.
Billy, I was gonna say one other is they didn't have the gear that we have these days. Like, you know, we
No.
got the carbon fiber skis and the light jackets, and it's very like the mobility and everything. They didn't have that back then. So what they were doing, they were packing 80 to 100 pounds on themselves.
Yes.
And then going down.
Yeah, there wasn't
So-
Gore-Tex, there wasn't Patagonia, North Face, and it was cotton, cotton fibers, wool fibers, wood skis, metal bindings, and that's about it. Canvas backpacks, yeah, and that was the real deal. They probably did major layering, and then they went and did it. Like we get so spoiled. Oh, it's cold. I got to go out to my car. Give me my big giant down coat. But these guys were out fighting for their lives in cotton and wool clothes. Imagine how cold their feet would have got. Those leather boots with just wool socks, and it really is amazing what those men and women went through. We kind of forget about that. So if you get a chance and you're in Vail Village, go to right where Dom is there, right next to the covered bridge that heads up to Bridge Street right there, and check out the sign. Read a little history of the founders of Vail and what their experiences and what they brought to this area. It's amazing.
And Billy, it makes sense that in order to honor these guys, 10th Mountain Whiskey is just through the covered bridge right here and about 100 feet into the village on the right-hand side when you're walking through. So go check them out as well. I'm sure they have plenty of history as well to go over.
Yeah.
They're named after these guys. So
I probably should have tacked that onto the list. The canvas bags, the cotton and wool socks, the leather boots, the wood skis, the metal bindings, and some whiskey to keep you warm. For sure. They definitely had that. Yes. Yeah. I would have had one of those things that you see the big St. Bernards carry. I would have had a whole jug of it in my backpack. Maybe they did. And deservedly so. They should have one of those in their backpack. Are there any people walking? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, there's plenty of people. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely get to the base and ask some people what their New Year's resolutions
Terrific.
are. But what time is the ranger? What time are the Rangers going down the mountain? On the front page of the Vail Daily today, that's what you can expect from these guys.
Yeah.
Honoring these guys tonight.
There's all kinds of stuff. So that happens today. I think I get on Vail.com for that one. There's a torchlight ski down. Yeah, that's what it's going to look like today. And they have all kinds of party things happening in and around Vail. We'll be talking about that more a little bit later in the show because they got silent disco, all kinds of stuff. We'll come up with the time for that for sure. But big happenings in Vail, big happenings in Beaver Creek. If you're up in Beaver Creek this evening, we'll talk about that as well. But it's literally going to be a carnival. They got fire eaters. They got contortionists. They got all kinds of stuff going on. So it's going to be a scene throughout the Vail Valley for sure tonight. Yeah. And also want to mention to our viewers, as you're watching that crawl going underneath the screen right there, we don't expect you to memorize all that. But this gives you a sampling of some of the runs and the groomed runs that are happening on Vail Mountain, on Beaver Creek Mountain. You can always get on beavercreek.com or Vail.com and take a look at the maps and get a better idea where you want to ski. Maybe you're with your family and you can kind of gauge the level of skiing and where you want to go. But that's a lot of the runs. Those are all groomed runs that are happening right there. Oh, yeah, you spun your camera on and see people are definitely starting to arrive right there. Yeah, and the snow is still coming down where you are. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to get over to the lift and see what the line looks like because as I've been standing here, this has just been constantly flowing by. So
we'll take it.
I'm sure there's a pretty big line over here in Vail Village right now.
We'll take it. We're going to take it to a break, I think, right now. We'll check back here shortly, and we actually got some ski drills coming up. We got a little video shoot here for maybe you guys that are visiting. We get lots of visitors here who are brand new to skiing. They're brand new to the sport of skiing or snowboarding. And here's a look at some really cool stuff happening, and just as far as just some drills, some basic techniques to get you that little extra edge when you're out in the mountain. Take a look at this.
Hi, I'm Michael Friedberg. I'm a former U.S. ski team athlete and former program director at Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. I've done a lot of coaching and even more skiing over the years, and I'm excited to share some of my knowledge with you guys. The only way to truly improve your skiing is to break it down into its component parts. If you've read Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers, what I'm talking about is deep practice. That's what we're going to be doing here, breaking down skiing into its component parts and helping you get to the next level. I'm going to introduce you to my favorite progression of drills. Drills are super important, and I like to do them every morning. I did them as an athlete, and I do them with all the athletes that I work with. What it does is it brings your focus to your skis. All of these drills can be done as a progression in one run, and from there, you'll be ready to rip. The first drill we're going to do today is a bit of a central nervous system warm-up. It's called 1,000 steps. What we're going to do is get into an athletic position and run our way through the turn. It's going to be goofy, and it's going to kind of throw what you know about skiing out the window, break up your established movement patterns, and get you ready to progress in the sport. We're going to make a nice big traverse across the hill, and we're going to focus on an athletic position, and by that I mean knees over toes, lots of pressure in the front of the boots, stacking our hips over ankles, shoulders over hips, arms extended in front of our body, keeping in mind that we want our elbow well in front of our body pillar. We're not really going to worry about pole planting for this drill, but we are going to get a nice flex in the boot. And what we're going to do is simply run through the turn. And what that's going to do is it's going to break up those existing movement patterns and help you get into a mindset to progress. We're going to move on to edging. And edging is tipping the ski on edge by moving your knees to the inside of the turn. And when you do this, you're going to want to have a lead change. So I'm sure at some point in your ski career you've heard someone talk about having weight on a downhill ski. By having weight on a downhill ski, it's going to cause that leg to fall behind your other one, creating something we call lead change. And the reason that's important is when you push your knees to the inside of the turn, if you have lead change, your hips will fall over that downhill ski, producing good power into the snow. If they're not, and you push your knees to the inside of the turn, this hip escapes, creating a weak banked position. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide and edge. Slide, edge. So I want you to feel what it's like to tip that ski on edge and really get purchased into the hill with that downhill ski. The third drill is called the crab drill. If you've ever seen a crab move on dry land, it moves side to side, not front and back. So we're gonna take that tipping and angulation drill that we just did, and we're gonna bring it down the hill. So we're gonna start in a wedge, but don't think snowplow where you're pushing your foot away from you. Think about tipping the ski on edge, which is gonna allow you to create a ton of pressure in the front of the boot, giving you great angle in your ankle and your knee. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna tip to the inside. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna really load up the ski, which is gonna make us move across like a crab. Focus on having 4 points, 2 on your hips, 2 on your shoulders, and your vision facing down the hill. Don't lose that stacked body position. Take your arms with you. All right, this next drill is all about transitions. How do you get from one downhill ski to the next? It's through the process of transition. And that's one of the many things that separates intermediate from expert skiers. So I'm gonna use this traverse to go through my mental checklist, think about my stacked body position. Right here, I'm gonna plant my pole lightly and pick up my downhill ski, forcing my weight onto the new ski. And I'm gonna think about pressuring the ski from the tip through this part of the turn and achieving speed control early. Once I finish the turn, I'll put my weight